The U.S. now borrowing more money that does not have. New fallout today after the Senate votes down a measure that would have prevented a hike in a debt ceiling. $1.2 trillion and more credits coming your way, America. New Hampshire Senator Kelly Ayotte, a Republican of the Senate Armed Services Committee and also the Senate Budget Committee, know this all too well. Senator, good morning to you, and thank you for coming back to America's Newsroom. You voted against it. You lost. Why'd you vote against it?
I voted against it because we can't continue to spend money that we don't have in this country. And yesterday, we're allowing the president another $1.2 trillion increase in our national debt. It's going to go up to $16.4 trillion. You know, I'm the mother of 2 children, and I'm really worried about the future of this country. That's why I voted against it. I also voted against the Budget Control Act, this debt ceiling deal, because we're not really addressing the underlying fiscal crisis and making sure that we don't go the way of Greece.
Yeah, $16.4 trillion, I believe, is the mark we reach in the fall. Maybe September, October. And so the president's going to come back before the end of the year after that mark, after we get to that mark, and ask for more. When and where and how does this stop, Senator?
It only stops if we actually put together a budget. You know, this week marked the 1,000th day that the Senate Democrats would not put forth a budget for our country. So we've got to get our fiscal house in order. We've got to cut spending. And we got to make the choices of what we're going to prioritize our spending. And finally, if we don't do something, we got to save our entitlement programs. This president has been totally absent in all of this. And we see what's happening in Europe. We've got to address it now.
Well, I heard your statement. You said it's going to take both parties to get this done. I think all Americans realize that, and that's why the approval ratings in Congress are as low as they are. I think the question is who has the nerve to get it done.
Well, I can tell you that there are many Republicans ready to get it done. I mean, look at the House passed a budget that would have reduced spending over $6 trillion over the next 10 years. We wouldn't even have had to have the debt ceiling debate if we had actually done a budget for our country that was responsible. And that's my focus in the Senate, and that's what we need to do. I mean, it's just common sense. That's what people do at home.
Do you get a sense, I mean, you heard the State of the Union the other night. Did you hear something in there that would give you an idea that, you know, hey, maybe the decision is going to be made in the right place next time?
I didn't. I thought the president was very absent on the issue of dealing with our debt. In fact, we didn't hear anything about reforming entitlement programs to save them, because if we don't make changes to those now, they're going bankrupt. So, but we've heard nothing from the president on these issues.
Well, it's a campaign year. I mean, you're probably not going to hear him highlight it. I mean, it's his watch where it's going up on.
Well, you're right. He doesn't want to highlight it because he's really been a failure on this issue. Look, he ignored his own fiscal commission. His budget was so fiscally irresponsible, it didn't get one vote in the United States Senate. Not even a member of his own party would vote for it because it was going to increase the debt so dramatically. So he's been really absent on this issue, and it's unfortunate.
Senator, we will see you in September when that number is $16.4 trillion. It will be an issue for this election also. Kelly Ayotte, thank you, the senator out of New Hampshire.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, Martha, what's next?